The hammer fell with a deafening crack, splintering the polished concrete of Karen's sprawling new patio. Her scream pierced the morning air, a raw guttural wail that made the county workers pause, their sledgehammers hovering. I stood at the edge of my property, arms crossed, watching the chaos unfold. Karen, the HOA president, had crossed the line literally. Her patio, a gleaming monument to her entitlement, now sprawled 6 feet onto my land, built without a permit, without consent, without a shred of decency. She'd waved away my complaints with a smirk, saying, "It's just a few feet, Sarah. Don't be so petty." Petty? I'd spent years saving for this small patch of earth, my first home, my sanctuary. Now her hubris was crumbling, and I felt a flicker of justice ignite in my chest. Karen's reign over Willow Creek Estates was legendary, but not in a good way. She patrolled the neighborhood like a dictator, citing rules about mailbox colors and lawn heights, yet her own violations went unchecked. When I noticed her contractors encroaching on my land, I confronted her. "It's for the aesthetic," she'd said, tossing her hair. "The HOA approves." I checked the property lines. Her aesthetic was a land grab. I filed a complaint with the county, expecting a long battle, but their surveyor confirmed the truth in days. Karen's patio was illegal. She'd forged documents, claiming my land as hers. The county issued a demolition order, and Karen's smug facade cracked. "You'll regret this," she hissed, her eyes venomous. I didn't flinch. The confrontation came on a crisp Tuesday morning. Karen stood on her patio, arms flailing, shouting at the county crew. "This is my property. You can't touch it." The lead worker, a grizzled man named Tom, held up the court order. "Ma'am, you're on stolen land. Step aside." Karen's face reddened, her voice climbing to a shriek. Neighbors gathered, whispering, phones recording. Then, an unexpected figure emerged from the crowd. Mrs. Lopez, the quiet widow next door, clutching a faded photograph. "Karen did this to me too," she said, her voice trembling. The photo showed her old garden, now buried under Karen's side yard. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Karen's eyes darted, her confidence faltering. Mrs. Lopez's revelation wasn't just a twist, it was a sledgehammer to Karen's credibility. The demolition began with a vengeance. Each swing of the hammers felt like a rebuke to Karen's arrogance. She tried to rally the HOA board, but they scattered, unwilling to defend her. "You're ruining everything," she screamed, tears streaming down her face. I wanted to feel pity, but her lies had hurt too many. Mrs. Lopez stood beside me, her frail hand gripping mine. "She took my roses," she whispered. "They were my husband's." The crowd grew, neighbors sharing their own stories of Karen's overreach, fines for minor infractions, threats over petty disputes. Karen wasn't just a bully. She was a predator, cloaked in HOA authority. As the patio crumbled, so did her power. The county uncovered more violations, unpermitted additions, falsified records. Karen's empire was collapsing, and she had no one to blame but herself. By noon, the patio was rubble, and Karen was a broken figure, sitting on her lawn, staring at the wreckage. The neighbors didn't cheer, they mourned the community she'd fractured. I approached her, not to gloat but to speak. "You could have asked," I said softly. "We could have worked together." She didn't look up, her silence louder than her screams. Mrs. Lopez planted a new rosebush that afternoon, a symbol of reclaiming what was lost. The neighborhood began to heal, organizing meetings to rewrite the HOA rules, prioritizing fairness over control. Karen resigned, her name a cautionary tale. I felt lighter, not because she fell, but because we rose together. Justice wasn't just the demolition. It was the community we rebuilt. What do you think? Was Sarah right to fight back, or should she have let it go? Share your thoughts on justice and standing up to entitlement.